I'm absolutely blown away by AI, artificial intelligence. And if you've been using it all, then you're probably blown away by it too. But can you use it in your stock market analysis, in your options preparations? And I've been using it, and I'm going to let you in on a couple little secrets about how I use AI to help me find the right stocks and find the right options to sell on them to fit my system. So what I'm showing you here on the screen is basically I went to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT has gotten to know me, right? So the longer you work with ChatGPT, they have something called memory. And memory starts to remember all of the things that you ask it, which is a little scary, and it starts to know you. And when it knows you, it starts to put in what it thinks that you want to hear and what it thinks that you're asking without having to clarify with you. So it's a lot better than it was maybe say 8 or 10 months ago. So now you can easily use it in your preparation for your stocks and your options. And so what I did is I went and I asked it a few questions, and I'm going to show you those exact prompts that you can ask it too. And I put it into my system. Now it knows me, so some of the things it kind of made assumptions based on what it knows about me and my system and how long I've been working for it. But let's start, and I'm not going to go through everything because it'll be an hour video if I do that. I'm just going to give you an example of the steps as I go through step 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think 5. And each of those steps builds on each other, and by the end, you're going to get a full picture of how you can create safe, reliable income of 1 to 2%, and we do it from the juice. That's the extrinsic value of an option, the out of the money amount. That's the part we're going for, not the whole premium. We're going for the extrinsic value. When we solve for extrinsic value, we get a clear ROI because we're not worried about if the stock goes up or down or sideways or whatever you all think the option is supposed to do. We are in it for the juice, the income, right? Here's the analogy I use. You go out, you buy a house for $300,000 or something like that, and then you find a tenant and you rent it to the tenant, and the tenant pays you $2,500 a month. Do you really care if the house goes up to $320,000 or down to $280,000 when you look on Zillow? No, you care about the $2,500 coming in every month from the tenant, right? And so if you care about what the tenant is paying, then that's really the concern. You bought it for that reason. You didn't buy it hoping you're going to make $600,000 on it. You're just owning the house, the asset, in order to be able to collect the rent. Same thing what we do in the stock markets in covered calls. We buy an asset, maybe a stock like Tesla or Amazon or Microsoft or whatever, and you use that asset to sell calls against it. The calls you sell against it, not the whole amount, are the amount that you make in income, but the time premium. That's a portion. So if you know about options, you know it's made up of two parts. Okay, a price of an option is made up by the in-the-money amount, the intrinsic value, and the out-of-the-money amount, the extrinsic value, what I call the juice. It's a lot more fun to say juice than extrinsic value. Sound like a lawyer, right? Not that there's anything wrong with lawyers, but they use big words, and I'm a small word kind of guy. So we call it the juice. We're in this for the juice. So those of you that watch this, and maybe this is your first video, this is different than what other people teach about covered calls, because other people teach you buy a stock, you sell it out of the money, and you just make this premium on it. And if it goes over your strike price, they might take it from you. That's what everybody else teaches, and that's frankly incorrect. We buy the stock and we sell the call. A lot of times we sell it in the money. So it's already ready to be assigned. It just never gets assigned, by the way, rarely. And part of that in the money call is the in the money amount plus the juice. So we're in it for that juice, okay? So try to focus on the juice as you go through this. So now we're going to go to the prompts that I use on ChatGPT. And I tell it, hey, ChatGPT, you're an options expert. Can you find high quality institutional type growth stocks that fit my cash flow machine criteria in short-term uptrends with good quality products and services with a good long-term outlook that are good candidates for covered calls according to my goals? Okay, so that's the prompt I use. And by the way, I just cut and pasted everything into Word because it's a lot cleaner looking when it's white on black rather than black on white, at least to me. So, and then I can highlight things and do stuff like that. So this is the prompt that I use. You're more than welcome to copy it. It knows me, so it knows my system. It knows the cash flow machine criteria. Basically, good, high-quality growth stocks in uptrends, right? But we want, growth stocks that are going at least 20% a year. We want good revenue growth, good sales growth. We want good return on equity, and I'll go through that as I go through this. So ChatGPT comes back and says, yeah, certainly I can do that. And it starts to analyze 5 growth stocks. So it looks at top growth stocks with strong uptrends and attractive option premium. And it starts with NVIDIA, and we all love NVIDIA these days, right? And it gives me the current price, recent performance, why it stands out. NVIDIA is a leader in AI and GPU technology, sectors that are experiencing significant growth. Its stock volatility contributes to its high options premium. So it gives you a little bit of an insight into why you would choose that. Tesla is another one. And I think I'll probably just analyze Tesla on this for you so you can get an example of how I do this. But gives you your current price, recent performance. Analysts projected it's going to go to $540. I frankly don't care what analysts think because they're no smarter than you or me. And they're wrong most of the time anyway. Usually they raise their projections when the stock is already there and they lower them when the stock has already gone down. So what good are they most of the time? But anyway, they got a buy rating and a $540 price target. Were they doing that while the stock was at 220? I don't know. It's at 347 now. Tesla's innovation in electric vehicles and autonomous driving keeps it in the spotlight, leading to high options premiums due to its stock volatility. Nice analysis, but I know a little bit more about Tesla. They're creating these robots, which I'm going to buy one, to do my laundry and cook my dinner and give me a massage or whatever, do the yard. Like, I'm going to get a robot, and that's what their really big thing is right now. But, it doesn't put that in the analysis. Okay, we still have human intervention in here. And then they talk about Uber, Broadcom, Meta, and really good stuff on these. So if you want, you can stop the video, you can read all this stuff, but I don't want to kill everybody. I'm just going to do one stock. So market overview, the market is currently experiencing a strong uptrend with the S&P 500 returning to positive territory. So it knows my system looks for the right market, right? The right stock in the right markets, like a tailwind, at the right spot on the chart, and then it squeezes the juice. So we're talking about the juice here in a second. But it knows that the market is in an uptrend, and it tells you kind of why. So this is a really cool analysis to have in one spot, right? All right, let's keep going. So now it summarizes. Okay, we got NVIDIA. It's in the AI semiconductor space. Chip demand is the key growth driver. Tesla, autonomous technology and EVs. Innovation in electric vehicles. Option premium potential high. That's all great, but it's not that exciting for me. So I said, hey, listen. Can you please provide me a table with the fundamental criteria that I need to analyze the stocks so that I can move to the next step? You got to be very clear with what you want AI to do, at least right now. Maybe next year it'll read my mind. But right now, here's the summary table of what it came up with. It says, sure, NVIDIA is growing at 262%. Earnings growth got a significant increase. Return on equity 115. Average daily volume greater than 3 million shares, which is one of my criteria. Uptrend and weekly at the money call time premium. That's how I start my analysis. Is what's it paying at the money? Let's go down to Tesla. Projected 16%. Not my favorite growth, frankly. I like 25%. Projected 189% earnings per share increase. Okay, I don't know what time period that is, but it tells me there's a lot of earnings per share increase going on in there, and I want to look at that. 28% return on equity. That's how well a company is handling your money. Average daily volume, of course, is 3 million shares. It's in an uptrend, high at the money call premium. So let's keep going with that. These stocks not only meet your specified criteria, but also offer active options markets. So it gives you the sources. And then I say, well, wait a minute, AI. ChatGPT, I call her Sarah, by the way. So I say, hey, Sarah, bring up a covered call analysis for call options that expire next week, 5/23. Today is 5/15 as I record this. And show me the at the money and in the money options by one strike price and return on investment on the time premium for those options. You have to be very specific because AI, probably like you, is computing the return on investment by the whole premium, and you don't get to keep the whole premium. The in the money amount you got to pay back. And so you're doing this on the juice, okay? You got to shift your mind. This is a total mind melt, right? You got to melt your mind down and kind of reform it back in your brain. And it says, certainly, let's perform a covered call analysis for NVIDIA with options. So it goes through the NVIDIA one, and it does a nice little call analysis here, right? In the money, it does an at the money analysis. It tells me it's a 1.96% return on at the money and a 1.23% in the money. And I'm like, okay, cool. I like that. Now, it gives you a little table here. Now, analyze the other stocks that it gives in a similar fashion. And it departed a little from what the other stocks were. So now it's giving me Meta and a couple other ones. But, you know, Meta's a good stock too. It kind of falls into the criteria, but it's shifted. It's not perfect. But these are all good ideas. These are not like, go do them. These are like, hey, Mark, go research these, okay? And so that's what I do. Like a couple times a week, I go through this analysis and it tells me which ones to research and which ones are the most ideal. Frankly, I do some other more detailed analysis, but I don't want to get into that here. But here it is, Tesla again. Current stock price, 347.68. It does an at-the-money call option analysis. Strike price, 350. So that's a little bit, you know, the strike price is at 350 and the estimated premium, it's a little out of the money, right? And so estimated premium is $7. The time premium, since it's out of the money, is $7. So that's the juice we're going for. That gives me 2% in just over a week, right? That's pretty good. 2% ROI. In the money, it's saying, let's go to the 345s. All right, it's only a couple bucks away, but you get $10. That's because you get some in the money amount, which you don't get to keep really, unless it goes down. You get to keep it if it goes down. Intrinsic value of 2.68. That's the in the money amount, and extrinsic value time premium is 732. So it gives you this return on investment in the money of 2.12%. Okay. Now these are all numbers that I want to go back and verify later, but these are good jumping off points. Then it goes to Broadcom, it goes to Palantir, and these are all stocks that I'm kind of in or I'm looking at right now. And so it gives this nice summary table, which allows me very quickly to go, well, Meta gives me 2% return on my time premium or my juice, or in the money gives me 2.14. I have a little trouble believing that it's higher in the money than at the money, but I'll do an analysis. Tesla, 2% roughly. Broadcom, 2%. And you can see, and this one makes more sense. See, in the money is 0.84%. That makes more sense. Palantir, 2%, and then the 125s are 1.46. To me, that makes sense. But I'm still analyzing the Tesla, and it helps me kind of go through that. Okay, then I go back and I start reading the charts. And I look at Tesla. Tesla isn't really in a long-term uptrend. It's in a short-term. You can see like 4 weeks in a row, it's coming off the bottom here from this big swoon we had down in the market. And so I look at the weekly chart and I go, well, that looks pretty good short term, but there's a risk of it pulling back to this $300-ish level, maybe filling that gap at what? I think it's like 320. So I'll look at the daily and I'll say, wow, that looks really good. However, to me, there is some weakness. Like it's been in a downtrend for a few months and now it's kind of bucking the trend and going in an uptrend. To me, that's good. But I want to be in the money to protect myself on the downside. So the more in the money you are, the more in the money amount you have on the short call. The in the money amount, you don't lose money as long as you're in the money. And so it can go down, the in the money amount, and you still haven't lost any. Your base position will go down. Your in the money amount will go down as well with it. So those two will offset. Okay, it's below your strike price when a stock is dropping where you lose money. So you want your stock to be in an uptrend. You don't want it to be in a downtrend. You know, there's this moron that commented on one of my videos and he said, no, you want your stock to be going down when you're doing covered calls. So I'm like,
what an idiot.
You want to own a stock at $488.54 and you want it to go to $214. That makes a lot of sense. So you're going to make 2% a week while your stock is at $488. But it's going to go down by 50% in a few weeks, and you're going to be happy about that. Like, you know, like just do a little math before you make a comment on the channel. The bottom line is here, we are in an uptrend. So I look at that and I go, okay, I like where this is. Then I go in and do an analysis of the actual options chart and option chain and decide how far in the money I want to be. So for example, I'm looking at Tesla this morning and I'm thinking, you know, Tesla's good, but we've got a gap here that's, you know, gaps get filled. I just put out a video on gaps, and gaps like to get filled. So there's a chance that this gap is going to get filled at that price, which is like, I'll tell you what it is here. It's 307.04. I don't know when it's going to get filled. I just noticed that gaps get filled. It might be a year from now. It might be a day from now, but it's at 307.04. So do I want to be doing calls up here? I don't know. Maybe we are in a green market, but it's getting a little long in the tooth. I think my better probabilities, and I don't know if a stock's going up, down, or sideways. I try to I don't try to predict, I try to use probabilities. My belief is that the probabilities are it wants to come back down and fill this gap before it goes to 400. So I'm probably going to be, if I were going to sell options today, I'd probably be around the 310s. Okay? I'd be around the 310s. And if it goes higher, great. I'm still collecting the juice, as you saw from the AI analysis. But if it goes lower, at least I'm protected. Okay? So that's how I use AI in all of my analysis to do stocks and options and try to get that sweet spot of 1 to 2% a week. Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? 1 to 2% a week. But if you think there's 50 weeks, 52 weeks in a year, or 50, I do it because the math is easier. 1% a week, if you're in the money and protected, times 50 weeks is 50% a year. Even if you're only getting 0.5% a week, it's still 25% a year, and that's usually going to outperform most markets. So that's how I use AI in my analysis, and I hope it helps you at least start getting an appreciation for what AI can do for your trading as well. Hey, it's Mark Yagi, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right now. That would be a great favor to me, and plus it helps me get this material out to a lot of other people that might need it. I've got a little bit of a movement going on here, and I want to try to change the world one person at a time, showing them that you can make safe, reliable income from the stock market. And plus it helps to grow the channel a little bit. Also, if you would give me a thumbs up on the video and like it, great. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, that's cool. But just tell me why you don't like it so I can get better. And then hit the notification bell so you can get these videos as soon as they come out, because a lot of times this is timely information and you want to get that information before it gets stale. The last thing is to join my free Insider Tips newsletter. There's a link below and you get everything in one spot. You get breaking news and analysis also. So that would be great if you could do that too. See you soon.